Hello everyone, this is Chris Assis, and today we're having a 10-minute tango practice. We're gonna be focusing mostly on legs and weight transfers and balance. So the only thing that you're going to need is a little bit of a step. So anywhere in your house that you have stairs, you can you can use that, or if you're in the gym, you can actually use a step. So, if you're ready, here we go. So you are going to be challenged here, not so much physically, possibly, maybe a little bit, but mostly mentally, because when we do exercises like this, especially if we want to work out our legs, we get so focused on how high we're going to kick or how low we're going to sit. But I want you to focus on something completely different. I want you to focus on how you yield through your back in order to lift the leg either forward or side or to the back. So find your strength through the back of the body, and notice how my hips are changing direction when I'm kicking and when I'm sitting and when I'm shifting the weight. The hips are not square, and that's important. You can also see how that affects the shoulders and the center of the body. That is essential to good balance and freedom of movement. So try to notice these things and focus on them a lot more compared to how high you kick or how low you sit. So here, this is quite a good image. I want you to mostly focus on the foot that I have, that's the steady leg, the one that I'm transferring my weight over. Notice that line of how my hips align and how they turn around that leg so I can balance myself and kick. Also notice the timing when that leg gets completely free so it can actually kick either to the front or to the side or to the back. Timing is essential. Notice how the position here of my hips is changing because we have a side extension compared to a forward one. And also how the body is not stuck in one position. We have a little side bend along with a little bit of a twist. Notice here in those back extensions how my spine is participating as a whole in this movement, not only with a twist, but also with a full movement, a full extension from the head all the way down to the tail. Notice the difference when I sit and when I kick, right? There is a difference in the shape, slight difference, but it's there. Allow your spine to participate from the neck all the way down. Let's start here nice and slowly. You step out to the side and you step back, to the side and step back. You can keep on working in this pace or speed it up. We want to stay low and we want to stay forward. Imagine that you have another person there and you don't want to fully let go and release that connection. You want to stay forward even though you're stepping back. You can see it from the side. I'm trying to stay low and I'm trying to stay forward. That doesn't mean that I lock my hips or that I am not allowing any movement in the upper body. You can see the side bends and the twists here. Now we're going to be going forward. The most important thing to be careful with here is not to step away from the central axis when you step forward. Many times we go a little bit off to the side instead of going forward, trying to keep things square, but we don't really walk in a square way. So you want to imagine you're making a nice balanced U, like you see it here, and at the same time your hips are allowed to move freely and almost create like a little wave. Now, adding some heels. So when we're adding heels, things change. We become a little bit more aware of our balance, and sometimes it is vital that we are a little bit more focused. So try to go slower if you need to, but have these things that we talked about before in mind. How you pass the weight from one foot to the other, how you yield through the back before you take a step, how you step close to your central axis. And now, back to the first exercise, only with heels this time, and in a more tango way. Same rules apply, and like you see me do here, if you want, you can change it to an embellishment. So it doesn't have to be a kick like we were doing before. It can be anything. It can be circles or little flicks like I'm doing here. But the important thing is, again, to notice how you go from one foot to the other, how your hips can move freely, how your body can participate and help you, and most importantly, how you can establish a flow without jeopardizing your balance. One thing that helped me a lot was to think from my belly button outwards in equal distances. So up, to the right, to the left, and down, like as if I'm radiating out in a nice full circle. So I think if you really try to channel your energy in that way, and instead of thinking of squeezing and holding and pushing and pulling and all these things, but if you just allow for your body to express itself out through the center, then you have a lot more to give, thinking that you would be doing like embellishments like this while dancing. You have a lot more to give to your partner, and at the same time you have a sense of security and groundedness. So I find that this particular tip helps me a lot, especially when I'm dancing with someone that I do not know, that I haven't danced before, and there are a lot of surprises in that case. So try to practice on that very tip right here when you're working all on your own, and you have a different kind of challenge that is though connected a lot to how your center is managed, how your axis is managed. So try to think of your axis as a three-dimensional type of thing instead of just up and down. Try to feel the other directions, forward and back, left and right. Try to feel like you have a nice big bowl full of air and full of energy and full of power and full of fluid that you can use. It's right there in the middle of your body, what we call the trunk. So I think that could be an excellent tip if you're either working on balance exercises like this one, or if you're dancing with someone new and you want to calm yourself down, stay focused, but also be able to give more, share more with your partner, despite the surprise of dancing with someone who's a complete stranger.